Hi, I'm Cute Spooky, and this is what I look like today. Why do I look like this today? 1 week ago, Atlus released a new showcase for Metaphor Refantazio that focused on the story, and I want to yap about it. This video is going to cover the beginning of the game, and I'll be adding some of my own speculation to it. Y'all, I analyzed the heck out of this showcase, and I feel this video is gonna be a long one. So buckle up, Buttercup, and let's get into it. Before the story, I have to talk about the development team. Studio Zero is developing this game, which consists of a team of people who worked on Persona 3, 4, and 5, including director and producer Katsura Hashino. He also directed SMT3. The studio invited some guest artists to help with development. Koda Kazuma, the concept artist for Nier, did the background concept art. Ikita Yamashita, the mecha designer for the Neon Genesis Evangelion series, did the Gauntlet Runner designs. Yuji Himukai, character artist for Etrian Odyssey, provided archetype design support. They even summoned Hieronymus Bosch from the grave to work on the monster art. Bosch was a Dutch painter who's known for his surreal and hellish religious paintings. One of his most famous works is the Garden of Earthly Delights. That third panel really is something. You can see the inspiration for this egg-like monster here. The game takes place in the United Kingdom of Uchronia, which used to be 3 separate countries. There are 8 main tribes, and the minority tribes are mistreated by others. Monsters roam the land, and humans are the nastiest of the bunch. Particles of anxiety fill the atmosphere, and this anxiety is the source of magic in this world. These particles are called magla, and are sucked up by special devices in cities and used as a source of funding for the kingdom. In recent years, the amount of magla has increased, which has caused more humans to appear. It is concerning that it's used as a form of currency, because there's no way anyone would want to abuse that system, right? In this scene, we can see that the mag broker buys up magla shards by order of the Sanctus Church. Why is the church collecting these? Is it only because of the funding, or do they need to stockpile magic juice for something more sinister? The events in this game heavily revolve around the royal family. The prince and the king are the 2 key characters within this family. The prince is the main character's childhood friend. He introduces the MC to a book when they are children. He says he hopes that one day they can make their kingdom like the place from his book. Maybe that world is one where every tribe is treated equally. He's currently living that cursed life thanks to Louise, but I wonder if breaking the curse will even put the royal family back into power. People were already losing faith in the royal family, and it sounds like that faith is going to be necessary to win the election. The king is dead as heck, once again thanks to Louise. He appears as some weird Majora's Mask moon object, and states that whoever wants to be the next ruler must earn the faith of its citizens. He does this using something called election magic, which creates a race to the throne open to everyone. This magic also allows him to watch over it, so it doesn't seem like anyone's going to be able to cheat the system. This election magic turns the world upside down. Everyone's used to there being a monarch, so I could see how democracy would be like magic. There's not someone there to tell them what is right or wrong. They have to start thinking for themselves, which you know is going to create chaos. I wonder if your actions in the game will impact who becomes the new leader, and if that'll determine what kind of ending you get. The main character only joins this race to get close to Louise. He's only doing it as a means to an end. I'm unsure if he has plans on winning, or knows what he'd do if he did. Speaking of the main character, he sets out on a journey to assassinate Louise in order to lift the prince's curse, which appears to be a time-sensitive matter. The MC carries a fantasy novel around with him. I suspect it's the one the prince introduced him to when they were children. A character called Moore is the one who wrote it. The MC encounters a human before he's able to get to Louise, and in the process, awakens an archetype, but he manages to survive. In this scene, you can see that he is the only one affected by something when the election magic is evoked by the late king. I have no idea what it was about, but it definitely stood out to me. The race to the throne starts with two opposing forces at the head of it, Sanctifex Forden and Louise. Sanctifex Forden is the top brass of the state religion Sanctism, which effectively rules the kingdom since the royal family's power has waned with the king growing older. Many people were looking to him as their next leader. He wants to restore order and take a more defensive stance against the humans. He says that the chaos the kingdom is currently facing is one of God's many trials. Louise became a powerful military elite at a young age. He claims the kingdom has been infested by humans due to the anxiety brought on by the king and Sanctism. Louise seeks to protect the weak who have followed him by military action. He's also the one who assassinated the king and plotted the assassination of the prince, as he was heir to the throne. The prince did not die, but was cursed. The symbol of his power is the Caradrius, the only flying gauntlet runner, which also serves as his headquarters. It's also the name for some birds. In one scene, he says a line about showing people the truth of reality, which involves displaying a human to a large group of people. This scene shows us that the existence of humans is only rumored and not believed to exist by the general public. Was their existence purposefully hidden by those in power? I assume his intent in showing them this is to terrify them so that he can promise to protect everybody if they elect him as king. He also has a line about not needing to be chained to birth or tribe and wants everyone to live equally. That sounds good at face value, so I wonder if his ideals are sound, but his methods are crazy. Or maybe he's lying and has some other goal in mind altogether. The main character will meet many people to help him along his journey. Gallica is the fairy that accompanies the MC from the beginning. Fairies are rare in this world. It sounds like they work as the MC's GPS and travel guide. I'ma be real with you, I don't trust them. Maybe I have fairy PTSD thanks to another JRPG, but the fact that fairies are rare and their motivation for saving the prince has not been explained is sussing me out. Moore is the keeper of...
Academia.
Sorry, I just really like how he says it. Where you'll customize your archetypes. He's the author of the book MC carries around with him. He's also imprisoned in his study for some reason. He's one of the followers and governs the Seeker archetype lineage. It sounds like this is going to be the first archetype that MC unlocks. In what appears to be the very opening scene, the line, "By this story of fantasy, may this faded world be painted anew," appears. Which makes me wonder if the events in this game are the events in the book MC carries around with him. I also think this could be the case because in Moore's study, he has a statue that looks very similar to the Vitruvian Man by Leonardo da Vinci, which he created to show that the proportions of man relate to nature, that there is a divine connection between man's body and the universe. Maybe I'm taking it too literally, but I think it makes sense why a being who has the power to create reality by writing is linked to this imagery. Then again, his archetype is the Seeker, which leads me to believe he is a perpetual learner, who may have learned much along his travels, but has not yet reached self-realization. Not much was shown about Grius. One of the MC's first tasks is to send him a secret message about the assassination plans for Louise. He's a master of martial arts and skilled in magic. He attempted to master archetypes in his youth, and he's currently working undercover as a soldier in the Royal Army. The MC meets Stroll when he volunteers to become a soldier in the army to deliver his message to Grius. He's of noble birth, so it's rare for him to be volunteering for the military. Stroll holds a deep grudge towards humans from past experiences. Towards the beginning of the video, it sounds like his village was destroyed and he was the sole survivor, so this is probably that experience. Stroll has a strong sense of justice and treats everyone equally. The first archetype to awaken in him is the warrior, which makes sense because he envisions himself to be a noble hero. Hulkenberg is a warrior and a member of the Holy Order who once served as the prince's guard. At the beginning of the video, she sounds ready for her life to end. It makes sense that she wants her life to be taken when she believes the prince has died, since she failed her duty to protect him. After this failure, she stepped away from the royal capital for a long time. She only returns after hearing of the king's death, and that is where she will meet the other protagonists. Her first archetype is the knight. She's stubborn and stoic, but also likes to eat bugs. Hesme has a painful past. To overcome it, he decides to face his anxiety and awaken his archetype, the thief. He's a skilled and agile fighter. He comes from a lesser tribe that has never been accepted by others. He believes this has to do with their appearance, their nocturnal nature, and the fact that there aren't many of them. The video said he would expand the range of the party's tactics, so maybe bonding with him will unlock new combat actions. Nuris pilots the team's Gauntlet Runner. He was a Gauntlet Runner designer for the royal family and only cares about learning more about them. There's a scene where he even offers his life over harm coming to his runner. He's not easily discouraged, so he'll be there to keep the party's spirits up when they face adversity. You always need a guy like him, because you know you'll fight gods later, and you're gonna need a good hype man. He will not be a party member, but is a supporter that unlocks the gunner archetype for MC. Also, bonding with him will unlock fishing, so you know that's a must. Juna is this world's idol. She's a songstress known to have the most beautiful voice in the kingdom, and dresses like she's from the 60s. She unlocks the masked dancer archetype. It's interesting to me that it's the masked dancer, not just the dancer. It leads me to believe she's hiding something. Tribes in this game are like different races, but not the typical fantasy RPG ones. The developers based them on the biases of people's personalities and values. They did this in an attempt to rebuild the fantasy RPG from the ground up in order to innovate the genre. It excites me because so many games stick to the same formula. Not that there's anything wrong with that, it is tried and true. I played many games in the genre and I never get sick of it. However, I enjoy it when people take risks and try something new. It is common for change to fail, but this has a good chance of succeeding because the tribes are based on different aspects of people, similar to the archetypes in psychology and literature. There are 8 main tribes. The Clamar, who are averse to irrationality. Stroll is a part of this. The Roussant, who pride themselves on strength. The Rogue, who are long-lived and see the value in passing something on. Grius is a part of this one. The Ishkia, who are said to be highly intelligent. Nuras is a part of this. The Nydia, who are sociable. The Parapas, who love a lively banquet. The Ujif, who value harmony. The Mastari, who do not speak much. Those are my people. And then there's also a 9th tribe, the Elda, whose existence is rare, and the main character is a part of this one. It makes me wonder about his family and background. Does he know of others like him? How are other people going to treat him in this world? Will tribe biases get in the way of the popularity contest? That concludes the summary of Metaphor Refantazio's story showcase and my thoughts about it. What do you guys think? Did I miss anything important? Are there connections you made that I missed? Let me know in the comment section below. I try not to get too hyped for new games to avoid disappointment, but I really can't help it with this game. I think it's going to be an iconic JRPG title that'll remain relevant for years to come. Anyway, if you enjoy reading, I just posted my review of Chaos Child over on my website. A link to that will be in the description. If you liked the video, press the like. If you want to see more of me, subscribe. With all that out of the way, I hope you're living today in a way you won't regret, and I'll see ya in the next one. Pook!